Jonathan. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Reps Call. Today is Thursday, as usual, and it's 5 o'clock in the evening in Berlin. I don't know what time is in your time zones. I hope it's not super late. Sorry, Kiki, I know it's super late. I will say hello to who I see in the video. I see Abby, Cairo, Chad, Daniele, Kiki. We also have Emanuela. She's from the Berlin office, and she's on UX design team. She's also Italian. Daniele, it's coming to you. We also have Team, Sandeep, Mario, Abby, Jason, and Xavier. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for the people who are watching us on Ermo. And today we'd like to hear what you would like to discuss in future calls. This is an open call and we want to know more about what you want to hear. So Ioana is interesting to know because Ioana is my partner in crime and she's usually finding the people to talk in this call. So today we have two shout-outs. One is going to Senor Michael Kohler for leading a lot of fixes in the reps portal. You saw a discourse topic. He did a lot of work. Nobody knows when he's sleeping. But thank you so much, Michael, for all the fixes on the reps call, on the reps portal. Sorry. And we also have for Eduardo Viola for the new mailing list. We didn't have since a lot of years for the Mozilla Italy community. I think that's Daniele. Thank you, Eduardo, for all the work you're doing and for creating mailing lists for the Italian community. Manuela would be happy. Okay, without further delay, I'm going to give the floor to Chad and Abby. They're going to talk about open leaders and open leadership map and what exciting is coming from them.
Chad, I'll let you go first.
All right, thanks very much. It's great to be here. Really appreciate the invitation to share some of this work with you all today. So we've been developing something we're calling the Open Leadership Map, although the name may change to something like framework or guide or something further down the road. But at the foundation, we've been asking ourselves questions like these. What's the best way to support the personal and professional development of leaders in the movement for internet health? What does open leadership look like? And how does it connect to the well-established principles of openness and working open and to ongoing conversations about those things that have been going on in the world for a long time? And what might happen if we also try to help people become more open by design than open by default, with thanks to the Open Innovation team for some of their research and language there. In pursuit of answers to questions like those, we started this map, this open leadership map. And the way we envisioned it at first was something not unlike our web literacy map, if you're at all familiar with that resource, in which it took kind of like broad categories of web literacy, some specific skills, and linked those things out to different curriculum and events and programs. We'd like to create something that's useful for people's personal and professional development and for the development of projects in open leadership as well. Our big idea for this is that open leaders design, build, and then empower their projects and contributors and communities for understanding, sharing, and participation and inclusion. And the map is really meant, as I've said a few times, to create a framework for growth in those areas. So it's not meant to be prescriptive, more like diagnostic or helpful, or a spectrum in which you might locate yourself or a project or community with which you work to best determine how to iterate, improve, move forward, check and make sure you're doing the things that you think you're doing. There are a number of links starting at line 74 for your reference, and I hope they might be of use to you. There's a blog post at line 74 with background on the project and where we are now in our beta. There is the white paper beta itself. We haven't designed the map yet. We need to really think through that information architecture, and we'll do that once we have more of our content locked. There's a Google Docs version for people to comment on if they are less familiar with GitHub. We're doing a series of weekly updates called Week Notes, and you can find your way to the most recent of those there at line 77. Though they've not been attended yet, we do have office hours that we're trying to grow, and the link to the Etherpad for those office hours and the next scheduled set of them, it's on line 78, followed by community calls. We started these at the end of January. We're trying to do them at the end of each month so we can kind of review some of the issues we've had, how we've responded to them, get feedback, get ideas for next steps for the map. And along with all that, we have also started something that we're calling a decision log. So if you're wondering why we use a particular piece of language or a phrase here or there instead of something else, that document is supposed to be kind of like a fact to help you figure out some of the things you've already decided on and moved ahead from. And with that, I'll pause. I'm going to go look down. There's a question about, do we have a date on releasing the map? I think we'd like to get the white paper, like the framework, to a 1.0 by the end of H1, by the end of June in 2018. And then to really make a final determination about whether we think this should be a map, a framework, a guide, and whatever we decide that it should be, or based on what seems most useful to our contributors and users, we'll try to do the information architecture design and launch of that in H2 2018. Are there other questions I can answer or questions people would like to voice? It's a lot of links, I apologize.
Thank you very much, Sad. Question for me, how many people are usually coming in the community calls and what are you usually discussing on those?
Yep, so we had two, we do one like early UTC and one late UTC time at the end of each month. We started in January, so we have 2 calls under our belt. Each one had 3 or 4 people to begin. The 2 calls were kind of very different. The first one had some external stakeholders, and we talked a lot about projects that they knew of that were happening now or that had happened in the past that could inform the white paper and kind of give us a few more resources for our works cited, for our research, for our recommended reading, and also connected us with a few other people, people at opensource.com, things like that. The second call had more staffers, and it was a little more, I don't want to say strategic, like it wasn't a decision-making call. It's very kind of like exploring call about, what might we add in response to some of the issues and questions that have been raised and filed. What is it important for us to say, and this is something we're still working on, right? Like, if we're going to use the word open leadership, how do we really unpack that to talk about what makes, 1, open leadership different from good leadership, and then 2, how is the way we're using leadership different from, really oppressive, patriarchal, hierarchical forms of leadership? Why are we choosing that word when it also has other connotations? So those are the kinds of things we've discussed so far. And our next calls, I believe, are on, there's a link there, but I believe they're on the 27th. I think around 1300 UTC, and then another one the following morning at 0100 UTC, which will be a few hours earlier, the further west you go.
Thank you very much, Sad. Any other questions for Chad? Oh, we have them all long. Thank you very much, Chad, for being with us.
Surely.
If you have any questions for Chad, do add them on the Etherpad, then we will make sure to reach out to him and ask him. I'm going to give now the floor to Señorita Abby, and she's going to talk more about Mozilla Open Leaders. Abby, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And it's so exciting to be here. I do want to say I was getting a lot of bandwidth issues, so I turned off. I can't see any of you right now. So if you're trying to wave at me, I'm sorry. I can't wave back. I'll just wave now. That's for all the waves I see later. But I am so excited to talk to you. So we just announced our new cohort of open leaders for the Mozilla Open Leaders. And Open Leaders, it's a cohort of project leads that are really fueling the internet health movement. They get mentorship and training in this online program over 14 weeks. So Chad's stuff was a lot of the theory. It's like, what is working open? How should we communicate it? How should we frame it? And then this program is more about the actual application. And I know many of you on the call have either been a part of it or you're a mentor. So it's really exciting to see you here, and I love this community. So our vision really is to grow this culture of openness in innovation research. Because I'm sure you've all been at a conference or somewhere where you hear a lot about something, you get so inspired. You get so inspired to work open, you're going to do it. But then you go home, and then your regular life gets in the way, and it just sort of dies out. So this was really a way to sort of pair this inspirational stuff that like Chad's working on, this big framework, and then give them the support to actually succeed later. So our projects that are accepted are on line 92, so you can take a look at that. There's like 105 people going through the program this round, which is a lot. Some of them are reps. So you can see all the different kinds of projects we have. Some are community building, some are software projects, some are curriculum. And I'm sure many of you are working on things that would probably fit in this. But what we're doing is over the next 14 weeks, we're going to be giving them training on open leadership topics. How do you actually work open, and showing them the best practices. But then also giving them a mentor who will meet with them every 2 weeks and just check on them, see what their goals are, see how they can help move it forward. And this is all leading up to Mozilla's Global Sprint, which happens in May 10th and 11th. So that's a 2-day hackathon around the world where we usually have about 50 to 40 sites where you can go and just work on these projects. So all of these projects from Mozilla Open Leaders will be at the Global Sprint. They should be. And you can contribute to them there. So we're just helping them get ready for contributors when they get to the Global Sprint. So I'm going to, oh, good questions there. Actually, I wanted to share a slide with you. Here we go. I don't know if that's working. I see a black screen.
It is working for us here in Berlin. I don't know about the rest.
All right. It's probably my low bandwidth again. But I just wanted to highlight that this is a movement building piece. These dots aren't quite accurate and some of the numbers are a bit off. But this did start a couple years ago where it was me and Aurelia, some of you might know her. The two of us just mentored 25 people who were working on cool projects. And then after that, we invited some of them to come back as mentors. And then they mentored other projects. And since that, we've been growing. So this is really around building that movement around internet health by giving people these practices on working open and helping them help others to also work open. So yeah, this is how we're growing. I hope this visualization helps you understand how the program works. So you can see the mentors on the website. I can put a link in there afterwards. And the next round will happen leading up to MozFest. So this one leads up to the Global Sprint. So MozFest is like end of October. I think they're still setting dates. But we'll be working with people the 2 to 3 months before that. So that'll be round 6. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And yeah, I'll take a look at some of these questions. Yeah, I think I answered those 2 questions. So Global Sprint is May 10th and 11th. But that's all I have. I know you have a lot of things to talk about on this call, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
That's no problem. Thank you very much, Abby. Does anybody have any other questions for Abby?
Oh, and I forgot to say, if you want to be an expert this round, so there's a lot of projects going through, and I know a lot of you reps have special expertise that could help these projects. There's a link on line 94. You can sign up to be an expert. So that means if someone's working on a project about something you care a lot about, then you can join and get to know that project and maybe help them a bit. So if you're interested in being an expert, go there. And then there's a bunch of ways to keep in touch under line 103. So this is for both Chad and I's work. There's a newsletter, a Twitter, and a blog where we post a lot of this information. Okay, now I'm done.
Thank you very much, Abby, for being here. By the way, thank you both for being here. And if you ever want to be here again, you're more than welcome. This is an open call for everybody to join, not only reps. We're talking about general community stuff and some specific rep stuff. So you're more than welcome to join anytime you want. I'm gonna really quickly jump to topic 2 because we have Outreach and Señorita Liz Noonan must be in here with us. Hey, Liz, welcome to the Reps Call.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me. I am here to just tell you a little bit about Outreach and Mozilla's participation. I am on the diversity and inclusion team, and I run a lot of our ongoing programs on the D9 team, and one of them is Outreachy. Outreachy is a program that happens twice a year, and the next round is coming up. It's June 5th through September 5th, and it is a program in which women and people that identify as female across the world, and then people of color in the United States can apply to, and they're open source internships. Mozilla is participating for this round. We participated since 2013, and 2013, and we have applications open now. They open on Monday. Right now, we have 2 projects open, but we'll have up to a total of 15 open. Some mentors are still getting their projects together. The projects can be from anything from coding to marketing to we've had interns on the D&I team right now or before right now both of the ones that are open are all engineering based projects, but that could change. I think there are two up so far out of the 15. um, so the application period ends sorry, I was just looking for it. I thought I had it up here. It closes on March 22nd, and after that, the mentors will go through contributions made by applicants, and they'll choose an applicant by April 15th. So check out outreachy.org to see more projects. And as more projects get added, I think once there's a full slate, I'll come back on to the call and talk about a couple of them or just highlight some of them. And if you have any questions, you can email me, enoonan@mozilla.com, or also this year, for this round, Dustin Mitchell is also helping me coordinate because he's been a mentor many times in the past and he wanted to continue to be involved. So he's Dustin@mozilla.com. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out and you can find more information at outreachy.org. They have all the information, all the requirements, all of the deadlines and dates, and it's also where you apply. So check that out. If you have any questions, you can ping me. I'm LMN on IRC, or you can email me. And that's an overview. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much, Liz, for being here with us.
Thanks, Constantina.
Did anybody ask a question? I heard the background noise.
Yeah, we
Diana?
also invited Gloria because we wanted to understand how it is from the perspective of the participant. She did attend one of the internships, but I'm not going to steal her talk more, and I'm inviting her to step in and tell us when and what did she do and how did she feel about it.
Hey, Gloria, happy to see you here. Want to speak a little bit about your experience in outreach?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So I interned through Outreach with Mozilla in 2015. Prior to that, I had no idea that I could intern at Mozilla. I knew that it was a company and I knew it had to do with Firefox at that time, but I didn't know anything about the Mozilla community and anything like that. So through Outreach is how I got to hear about the Mozilla community, Mozillians, and all those things. I interned as a web developer on Air Mozilla. The project that I worked on was relevant events. And if you check on Air Mozilla, while you're watching a video, and if you scroll down, you see something called relevant events to recommend you similar videos to watch. So that's my outreach project for them. And I had struggles finding getting an internship prior to that. So once I got this opportunity, it gave the chance to get out of the catch-22, which is you need the skills to get the job, but then you get the job because you don't have the skills. Because through outreach, you first have to contribute to a project before you can then be eligible to apply. And through that, it gives me the chance to prove my skills without needing to send to have relevant experience on my resume. So after that, it was a lot easier for me to get more internships because I had some relevant experience. And I did it remotely. That means I was in Greece, and my mentor, who was here based on in Mountain View. But at that time, we had other interns. One was from Brazil, and she got the opportunity to travel for 1 week to the office in Canada and work there for a week. And then we had one in France that, because she was close to a Mozilla office there in France, she used to go to the office to work sometimes. So experiences might slightly vary, but I highly recommend that people apply. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.
Thank you very much, Gloria. So, if you want to apply for outreach, if you are a woman or identify with as a woman or you're a person of color, do apply. It's pretty cool, and we have open positions in Mozilla. And I think, as Gloria just described, it's a nice experience to have. So, thank you very much, both Liz and Gloria, for being here. I don't know, are there any questions for Liz and Gloria?
I was wondering if there are any follow-ups of the program after she finished the internship, if she's like having a group support, well, support from a group or something as a follow-up.
That's a
Great
question.
question.
Yeah,
After
go ahead.
internship, the in the mailing list for alumni or alumna of Outreach. So, and there they post different opportunities for conferences and different type of things. So that is up till well it got extended. After some people, some Mozilla that I met spoke to me about other opportunities within Mozilla. So that is how I got involved with the tech speaker program. So I think it depends. Some people have other ways to stay involved, but mostly it's the mailing list.
Cool. Thank you, Gloria. Any other questions? Nope. Okay. If you had any, again, you can add your comments and we will all know. I'm gonna give the floor to Signor Daniele. Daniele, you are having the council updates. Daniele, we cannot hear you. Still, we cannot hear you. Danielle is pissed. Video, you all know video. That thing loves all of us. Daniele, do you want me to be your voice? Okay, I won't do the Italian accent because it's horrible.
I was about
But I'm gonna do my Greek accent and I'm gonna tell you all about the cancel dates. Here it goes. Like, we have the new onboarding screening team. Go and check them out on Discord. Congratulations to all the people who have been voted there. They're gonna help to onboard the new council, the new reps. In the past, we had the problem that a lot of new reps were taking so long to be onboarded, but no, fear not. We have a screening team and an onboarding team ready to help you. We have a new portal release. It's all about the bugs. So to go and check this out, we have reps coaches that are waiting for you, and we're working on a final draft on update interest activity HR in the reps portal. This is Major's work, so thank you, Major, for working on this. And peers update. Oh, Joanna, you're gonna verbalize this one.
Of course, I'm gonna do. Yes, I didn't want to create a separate topic. It's mostly about the council also. As you remember, 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I did enter the call and announced that unfortunately Ella stepped down from the role because of time and personal priorities and work and stuff. At that time, I did say that procedure will mean that peers will start a conversation with the previous council members to see if someone can help us there. And we have our lovely ex-council member Alex Lakatos stepping into this role till the end of the term. I'm gonna let him maybe add stuff. If you have questions for him, he will reply and all that. If you have questions about the procedure, write me and I'm gonna try to answer all those. And I do want to thank Alex. It's not easy to just go with the flow and help us, but I do appreciate all his effort here.
Thank you very much, Joanna, and thank you, Alex, if you're watching us. Thank you so much for stepping up. I'm gonna make your life miserable as usual in the council, making work. I'm just kidding. We all love Lakatos and all his work he has done in the past, and we're very happy to have him again on board and thankful for being able to step up for us. Abby unfortunately had to step up. Thank you so much, Joanna and Constantina. Thank you, Abby, for being here. We have open floor and questions, and we're right on time. Ranjit is talking about Rust for undergrounds. If you haven't checked the project, go check it out. I encourage more underground Mozillans to try contributing to the project in our most activate Rust events. I don't know if Ranjit is here and he wants to talk more about it. No? Okay. Thank you, Rajith, and thank you for all your work. We also have a survey about contributing to open source projects, and the marketing initiative has already gone out, so I'm going to pick that out. Okay, everybody, we have two more shout outs. The one is big most love to Sad and Abby for joining us and sharing more about their work on Open Leaders. Thank you so much for being here. And we also have a most love for Alex Lakatos for stepping up to be a council member. Thank you again. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a nice rest of your day and hope to see you all next week. Bye.